Hey guys, Sarge here. What I want to come and talk to you guys about today for shooting it on a Monday is kind of an EDC change that I've been looking at and I've kind of been testing out. So I've had this McKinatec KinaFlex appendix rig for a little bit now. I've primarily been using this actually in my classes. So whenever you guys saw me film like the Glock 45, the Sarge Special, this was the holster I was using. Or even my 19X range review, this was also the holster I had in that as well. So this has kind of been the holster I've been going to with the range and using just kind of throughout that role. What I will say I've been doing with it is, a good thing with the Glock holsters that I like quite a bit is if you have like that Glock 17, Glock 19 size, it'll also fit your 26. So I've been using my Glock 26 in this setup and I absolutely love it. So I'm going to show you guys just throughout this. There's some different photos I took of it just so you could see the 26 riding in this. But this is the most comfortable appendix holster I have worn to date. And I've had it on long car trips, long range days where I'm up there at the range all day, or just walking around at work, things of that effect. This holster's been there with me. So very nice holster, guys. This is the McKinatec KinaFlex. And remember, if you guys use code SARGE, it's 15% off your entire order there. And I get no kickbacks from that, guys. It's just a way to get you guys some quality gear at an awesome price. Okay, and his price is already better than everybody else's. But one thing I always like pointing out with his, the attention to detail that he does with every single holster is just out of this world. There's not a sharp edge anywhere on this holster. And I have had several holsters that are they're twice the cost of this and they're not made as nice. So just how he blends everything, it's ridiculous. And this is made by a individual who actually carries a gun. And I think that's very important. There's a lot of holster companies out there who they're making holsters, but they're not gun people and they don't actually carry their guns. And that's why when you actually get their holster, you notice, oh crap, this stuff doesn't conceal at all. Well, that's because it was made by people who don't actually carry guns. Don't have to worry about that with McKinatec. He does actually carry guns. He is a freedom-loving patriot, so there you go. But, so the KinaFlex, why? For me, and this is kind of like an update EDC 2020 video, I would say the biggest things for 2020 that I've added to my EDC that I think have kind of been something that's not going to change ever. First off would definitely be the Streamlight Stiletto. That is just a phenomenal light. For a long time, I was really not a big fan of the rechargeable lights because I saw some of the earlier offerings a couple years ago and I just really wasn't impressed with them. Not at all. And that has been completely debunked with the Surefire Stiletto. I use it every single day and it will go a month and a half without ever needing charged. If not even more than that. Like honestly, I forget when I charge it, so it stays on for a pretty long time, and I absolutely love that. Cool thing is with the vehicle I have, I can charge it in the vehicle, so it's really not a big deal at all to charge it. I'm never going, more than 20 days that I need to, that I'm unable to charge it. So far I haven't encountered a situation where it is a bad light. All the situations I've needed it for, it's been perfect. The momentary on and off have been phenomenal as well. So great light, highly recommend it. So I would say that'd be about the first one. The second product, which I'm actually pretty surprised with, is the KinaFlex knives. This thing is pretty sweet. And when I did the review for this thing, because I got it at a local gun show, one of the KinaFlex knives distributor people were there and we chit-chatted. He didn't tell me the name of the knife, okay, he didn't tell me the model of it, whatever. So when I did the original review, I just was talking about it as a whole, like, hey, this is the knife I got, here's what I'm gonna do with it, things of that effect. And everybody got upset about how I didn't have a name for the knife or whatever. Man, use Google, go and find it. Okay, they make a whole bunch of them anyway, so a bunch of people probably wouldn't like this one. But what I would say is I'm almost certain to say 90% of students that I have taught are carrying, hopefully they're all carrying tourniquets first, but they're carrying a CobraTech knife. Most of them have McKinatec holsters. The ones that don't have McKinatec holsters use leather holsters. So there you go. And they're, you know, they're outstanding citizens. Okay. So, but CobraTech knives, I've had zero issues with it. I have used it for everything from just kind of cutting different things throughout the day, cutting some bigger items, which I was pretty amazed with. And I'm going to be putting together kind of a little torture test with this thing. So we'll see what you guys think about it. So the Surefire Stiletto, this CobraTech knives, those have been things that I kind of recently added that I've just not really strayed away from. One thing I like about this is just how small it is. It truthfully is like a MicroTech, okay? The difference is it's like $100 cheaper. Okay, so there you go. And from my understanding, like the way this works is the parts are made in China or something, and then they're sent to Texas. They're sent to Texas, they're assembled in Texas, but it has a lifetime warranty through Texas. Okay, Waxahachie. So if anything happens through it there, you can call those guys. Your knife will have an individual serial number and a sales representative. You can just call them, fix anything you need. So there you go, okay? I mean, it employs Texas people that I personally know. So, I mean, I'm okay with saying this is a good knife, okay? And it's not an O-Light. Let's go ahead and start that one, okay? So, there you go with that. With the transition to using this KinaFlex, the one thing that I've kind of found, and this has just always been my complaint with people, when people tell you like, oh, I can still carry a Glock 17 all the time, no matter what. Okay, those people also dress like a, you know, I'm trying to think of a politically correct way, just to say a, you know, a real homely individual. So those are things to think about, okay? They wear clothes that are way too big for them, or they dress like cops. Okay, and what do I mean by dress like cops? Well, like when you're wearing those, you know, 2 times too big, or maybe even 1 time too big, 1 size too big shirts that are all, you know, those nice little button-ups or whatever, like we all know you're carrying a gun. Okay, we all know it. All right, now I have shirts like that, but at the same time, if I want to wear a t-shirt or something to that effect, I don't have to worry about, well, crap, you know, this setup I have isn't going to work with this, and you know, now you're kind of dressing around the gun instead of just dressing and carrying on with your day. Okay. Point of a gun being concealed is it's concealed. No one knows it's there, right? So let's just be realistic with stuff. We don't want to stand out, and that's kind of the biggest thing. There have been situations to where if you dress in a certain way, okay, if you do wear kind of baggier clothes like that, you're going to stand out. All right, but everybody can dress obviously however you want. I look at it as I want to dress to look like individuals think I'm not carrying a gun. Like I want them to look at me and think like, oh, that dude is definitely anti-gun. Okay, that's kind of the look I want to have. So that way if a situation does take place and I now produce a gun, they're like, holy crap, didn't see that one coming, came out of nowhere. Okay, so that's just my kind of thought process with it. With this McKinatec KinaFlex, carrying my Glock 45, because it does have that 17-round grip, it does it pretty well. And the only shirts that it doesn't really work great in are the medium ones. And for that I have the Glock 26. My opinion, kind of EDC 2020 with this, the Glock 26 has kind of come through as like the dark horse for the best EDC pistol. And I know that, you know, there's a lot of great ones out there. You have your P365s that everybody loves. I'm not really that big of a fan of. Who are those terrorists? Springfield Armory. Okay, they have the Hellcat. And then, whatever, other companies have different guns. Got it, cool. And I know that those are all thinner, whatever it is. In my opinion, honestly, just for me, I like the Glock 26 better than all of those. And the primary reason is, it shoots just like the 19. And I heard people say that before I went and bought it, and then I went out and shot it, and I was just kind of like, man, I don't know about this, right? But it's true. Like the whole time I was at the range with it, every time I've shot it, it shoots just like my Glock 19. It does not recoil crazy, nothing. And I've handed the Glock 26 to individuals that, due to physical ailments, right, they kind of can't use certain guns. They've had no issues running a Glock 26 at all. And they've even said, oh, this shoots very similar to a Glock 19. So I think that's pretty cool. One advantage, in my opinion, okay, and this is just for 2020, so of course that could change, that the Glock 26 has over all those other guns is aftermarket, and the availability of aftermarket. Me being able to buy parts for a couple dollars, especially during what everybody's going through, right, so I can just have spare parts to kind of, if anything happens to it, I can repair them. That is imperative to me and what I do, especially me going around teaching everybody and doing all this other stuff. I can't rely on, well, I hope Brownells has this in stock, which they do an awesome job of keeping stuff in stock, but man, I hope they have this in stock for when I'm going to need it. I would rather go ahead and have it all. Well, you can't do that with every single gun. Like my M&P shields, they just don't sell every part online, especially not the factory parts, which now I'm buying the aftermarket stuff, and some of that stuff is just garbage. So that's kind of important to me. Also magazines. Man, I'm not paying $50 for magazines. That's wild. You know what I mean? And we're talking about, you know, possible magazine restrictions that could be coming down the pipe. You know, looking at maybe those prices are going to be similar to what they used to be back during the old, you know, the gun ban and all that other stuff. So if they're already $54, what are they going to be, you know, 2 years from now? Right? One thing with Glock magazines, you can find them anywhere from like $19 to $30. And I have yet to find a Glock magazine that just doesn't work. And I've seen a bunch of people post videos, especially with the Gen 5 mags, where their Gen 5 mags did not work, or they had certain issues with them, got it. I have not encountered that at all. And what's really great, I have a whole bunch of Gen 4 and Gen 3 mags that work perfectly in my Glock 26. So, no issues with that. So it's just my kind of thought process. That's why I always kind of lean towards a Glock 26. Also, I don't have to get new holsters. It fits in every Glock 19 or 17 holster that I already have. And when you're wearing an appendix holster, one thing that I kind of didn't really, I thought was a bigger deal than what it was, and it ended up not being a big deal, is I thought, well, I don't want this extra material if I'm carrying a Glock 26, right? I don't want this extra material in the holster. I'd rather have the smallish holster that I can get for the blueprint, and it really didn't matter. So having the Glock 26 in this, it's awesome. Okay, it's a great carry setup, but that's why I kind of think the Glock 26 is one of the better carry guns out there that commonly gets forgotten about. I'm a huge proponent for the Glock 26. Okay, guys. Here's a quick, just real quick, guys. I heard a couple people say something to the effect, and these are older videos that I had. I'm just going to post them on here real quick. But older videos that I had, people said you cannot be accurate with the Glock 26, yada, yada, yada. Here's a video of me shooting at 100 yards with the Glock 26. Alright guys, so that was at 100 yards. Now, funny story with that. Dude who owns Angel Dynamic Knives, he makes a bunch of custom knives, right? I've used them for a long time. My custom knife guy, he was filming the video, and that was my first shot. Okay, so he can comment down below and tell you guys, no, it is true, it's his first shot. All right. I also had some other students up there as well. So every time I shoot, just so you guys know, it's not like out on a private range by myself. I normally will shoot before or after a class, obviously depending on what time I get there. So it really matters when do I get there, okay? Also to look at it, I have a bunch of people watching me. So if it took me 100 different times to do something, they would definitely let you guys know. All right, here's another video of me shooting at 85 yards with that Glock 26. Alright guys, so there you go. This has kind of just been it, just for shooting it on a Monday, just talking with you guys. Something I kind of seen recently and I want to ask you guys. Springfield Armory does an article called like the Armory Debrief or something to that effect. And something I've noticed across the board with people are companies. We used to have articles being written by individuals like Bill Jordan, Colonel Jeff Cooper, okay, Elmer Keith, people with some real experience. And please note, when I say experience, I'm not just talking about they were in the military or they were in law enforcement or something like that. That's not what I mean, but they have experience. Like, they've sought out training. They've sought out to learn as much as they can. And these new article writers that we kind of have 2020 going into 2021, I'm not impressed. They're writing articles solely based on how much they're being paid, and their articles make no sense anyway. Like, if you write an article saying how this crap gun went and shot 100 rounds, I don't care. That means nothing to me. 100 rounds is nothing. Most guns should be able to leave a factory and shoot 100 rounds. And especially when you're writing them about, case in point with 1911s. There's been multiple, things shown that with 1911s, they might work for 100, 200 rounds. And then you're like, oh, this thing's running pretty well. But because at the factory, they didn't properly check the extraction tension, that's going to start coming loose, or not coming loose, but wearing down some to where now it's no tension at all. And you're going to have to correct it. Those are things that you find out from running it through courses. Now, when I say running it through courses, or you guys should go take courses, what do I mean? I mean competent instruction, okay? And when you go to a course, how do you know what you're receiving is competent? One, and this is the main one, did you learn something? That's number one, okay? The second one, do you have new skills that you can go and practice? Because that's the whole point of training. Hey, I go to training so I can know what to go and practice. And were you able to self-evaluate? That is the biggest one that people have issues with, okay? And that's honestly the best one for me, because when you have individuals come and tell you that they're awesome shooters and they can shoot all these awesome groups, the first thing I do at my classes is I put a little 10-ring target up at 7 yards. I have everyone stand on a line, and without me giving them any correction instruction, I have them go ahead and shoot, just so I can see what their level's already at. I have yet to be surprised, okay? Like, I've yet to be like, oh, well, you're a pretty good shooter. There's nothing I can teach you, okay? So those are things to think about. And then what I do is I have them pull those targets down. We go through the whole course of me teaching them, showing them different things, and then we shoot it again, and they can look at both targets and go, yeah, I learned a lot within 2, 4, 6, whatever hours, okay? Well, now you can go home and practice everything I taught you. Now you have something to continually strive to be better at, okay? If you go take a course and you can't teach that, then you're not going to teach people anything. And if you just have NRA certifications, you know nothing, okay? Like, I didn't get any of my instructor knowledge from going through NRA courses, because those are pay me and I give you certificate courses, and that's it, okay? And how do I know that? The courses I went through, we had people that failed certain things and they still got the same certificate I did. So that's wild, okay? And those are people that are out teaching, and they're teaching a bunch of craziness, okay? So things to think about, guys. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think that the articles we're getting nowadays compared to what we used to are just fully paid advertisements and nobody even really reads them anymore? Let me know what you guys think about that. As always, guys, I appreciate you guys watching. Stay tuned for more. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're not already. There's a lot of good things coming. As always, guys, stay tuned for more. Sarge out.